Welcome back to Rewind Rewatch. I am Andrene.
And I'm Joel.
We are siblings. What we do here is we rewatch 90s movies and then we discuss how well they have aged. We'll be talking about who's in the film. We'll talk about any plots, any plot holes, any quotes that stood out for us, as well as any themes. And then at the end, I will provide some facts about the film. Today's episode, we'll be talking about Face Off from 1997. This is an R rating with a long runtime here. We have 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah, a very long runtime.
Good Lord.
I felt like I was watching like The Godfather, but nowhere near as good.
How long did it take you to finish this movie?
I definitely watched this in parts. I think I watched it in like 3 parts.
3?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like I started it, and then I kind of took a break, came back, and was like, I'm going to finish it. And then I was like, I can't. It was starting to get late. Eyes were starting to droop.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, I'm just going to finish this tomorrow. So yeah, it was 3 seatings.
So this was like a weekend project for you?
This was a project, yes.
Okay.
It's kind of my own fault, I guess, because I kind of had put it off all week. Of just like, yeah.
You were dreading it?
I don't know if I was dreading it. It was more so just like, I'm not really in the mood to watch this after work.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I'm going to watch the game today, or I'm going to do something else. And then next thing I know, I'm like, oh, we're recording tomorrow. Like, I kind of have to watch this movie now.
Right.
So this is just what happened.
Okay. Well, this was actually one of our most highest requested films, if you can believe it.
Mm-hmm.
This was requested by Jeremy.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Tanea.
Shout out to Tanea.
Nick.
Shout out to Nick.
And Drew.
And shout out to Drew.
So one thing I wanted to know is that I've been noticing lately that sometimes listeners will message us, email us, and they'll say they want us to cover a movie that we've already decided to cover, which is always kind of funny to me.
Unbeknownst to them.
Right. Because like what'll happen is like after today's episode, Joel and I will go ahead and go through the list, and one of us will pick the movie for next week. So we typically have a week to watch a film. Sometimes we do 2 films at a time, watch the film and talk about it. And so sometimes after we've already picked a film, listeners will hit us up and say they want to do that same film. So it worked out. So shout out to all 4 of you. And this one's for y'all, I guess.
This one is for y'all.
All right, so main characters here. We got John Travolta and we got Nicolas Cage. Both huge names. I'm not going to go through their list of movies ad nauseum, but John Travolta, when I think of him, I think of Grease first and foremost, because I grew up watching that movie so many times. Of course, Saturday Night Fever, Pulp Fiction, and then I think about Carrie.
I forgot he was in Carrie.
He took her to the prom.
Yeah.
Hit him on the head.
I remember now that you mentioned it, but I actually forgot that he was in that movie.
I think about that. And then lastly, I think about Hairspray. He played the mom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was in Hairspray. Yeah, that's crazy.
Then for Nicolas Cage, I mean, we have The Rock, Con Air, City of Angels, Snake Eyes, Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's right.
Most recently, Longlegs, which I was really excited to watch it. And then I saw it, and it was just a huge letdown. It did not hit for me.
So I feel like with Nicolas Cage, there's always this thing of like, is he good or not? I feel like it's also sometimes hard to tell. Like sometimes you'll watch him and stuff, and it does feel like he's like not really doing like a very convincing job. But then I also feel like a lot of the roles that he plays are these over-the-top characters, like the one that he plays in Face Off.
Good Lord.
Where it's like, maybe this is actually what he's supposed to be doing. Where other times you see him in movies where like he's kind of doing like the spacey Keanu Reeves-esque type of like not very engaged.
Yeah.
But then it's like, is this him or is this the character? So I still can't really tell. He's obviously no like Marlon Brando, but I don't know how I feel about this guy, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of people in this movie, and I
mean, I have to fill it 2.5 hours. So
there's so many people. I think we can kind of just talk about other people as we get to them.
That's fair. I mean, it's mostly these two characters are driving the movie.
Yes. So your one sentence summary for this film.
Yeah.
How would you describe Face Off in one sentence?
One sentence summary, I would say a LA cop decides to switch faces and bodies with a terrorist in order to get information about a planned bombing.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. And you heard correctly, switch faces. Like that.
Switch faces and bodies.
Yeah, I mean, down to like his scar from his bullet wound.
Make sure that you keep the scar near my heart.
So just like a quick overview. Basically, the opening scene, we see that John Travolta is out with his son on a carousel, and Nicolas Cage plays his character. His name is Castor Troy. And my brain, when I heard Castor Troy, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Castor Troy.
Exactly.
Of course.
And I'm like, are we cutting? Are we cutting? That's all I kept hearing in my back of my head, which is ridiculous.
Castor Troy.
And Castor Troy ends up, he's trying to shoot John Travolta's character. His name is Sean Archer. He's in the force. And he goes to shoot him. He misses and shoots the kid. The kid dies. And so...
Well, he doesn't miss.
Oh, yeah, he does shoot him. Right, the bullet goes through him.
It goes through his shoulder,
That's right.
then it basically hits the kid.
Son.
And the kid dies.
And I'm thinking, like, I'm watching the scene, right? And I'm just like, first of all, the stash that he has is absolutely terrible. I couldn't even really look past that. And the camera work, they keep showing a close-up of him drinking the straw over and over again. Why was that important?
There are a lot of things in this movie that you could ask that question about.
I was like, why are we showing him drinking? Weird. And then I'm thinking, like, you have sights. He's a sniper. So, like, just go for his head. You see him with his son. They're on a carousel going, I don't know, 0.1 miles an hour. So, like, how could he possibly shoot the kid? I just didn't understand. I was like, just go for his head.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Because it's also like, if you're trying to take this guy out, why would you try to shoot him in the heart through his back?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I missed. It's like, yeah, you missed, you dummy. You didn't shoot him in the chest. You shot him in the back and hoped that it might hit his heart. And then he hits the kid and he's like, oops.
Yeah.
And then it's just like opening credits. It's like, what? All right. That's one way to start a film.
And then when we see John Travolta's character again, this man looks like he hasn't slept in, I don't know, about a year.
In 6 years since his kid died.
He's pissed off. He's yelling at his team. And apparently they're trying to stop, this terrorist from doing
terrorizing.
Something. Yeah, from doing something. And he looks like his life is just in shambles. So I kind of want to talk about the relationship with him and his family. What were your thoughts on that?
So I think the relationship with his family is definitely strained. He has a wife and a teenage daughter. We can assume that the daughter and the son were probably around the same age because it says it was 6 years later. So let's say for argument's sake, she's 15. 6 years ago, she would have been 9. The kid that dies looks like he's about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So this is probably her little brother that got killed when she was a kid. Her dad's a cop that's been basically trying to find the killer for the past 6 years. And as a result of that, he's been kind of like absent from the house.
Yeah.
So this is not only strained the relationship with his wife, who writes in her diary that they haven't been intimate in months, but also the daughter, who's been having a bunch of like issues at school, getting in trouble, getting suspended, going through these different phases. Apparently, when we meet her at the beginning of the movie, she's like going through some sort of goth phase. The dad says something along the lines of like, you change who you are every week. Which I also thought was kind of odd because it's like, it kind of almost seemed to imply like, look how troubled this girl is. She's into goth now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really love that.
Yeah.
Even like the close up on her eyeshadow.
Right.
It's like, oh my God.
He's like, oh, I see what's going on here. It's
this
like,
girl's really disturbed.
Yeah.
It's like, man, relax. So yeah, I don't really know what that was really about. And it also seems to me that he is so preoccupied with what's going on with his job that he's actually not even really taking the time to like try to understand any of this. It's just like, oh, my daughter is just acting like a nut and she needs to get it together. But it's not any sort of like conversation or understanding. And his relationship with his wife is also kind of absent. And so I think, when they finally do switch bodies and the terrorist gets out and basically poses as him, which we definitely have to talk about how he gets out. But when he shows up to the house and starts interacting with the wife and with the daughter, they're like, yo, he's acting mad different. Like, it's almost, he's more light. He has a sense of humor. Mm-hmm. He's more understanding.
He's romantic.
And it's like, yo, who is this guy? Like, what happened? So that also lends me to believe that all of those characteristics were basically absent, at least for the past 6 years.
Right, exactly. It's almost like the quote-unquote bad guy, Castor, was, good as a family man.
Kind of, but he's playing a role because he's not a family man. He's actually
with
absent
his
from his own son's life.
Well, he didn't know that was a son.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
And he and his brother are tight.
That's true. Yeah.
I think if he knew he had a son, he would definitely be there. He clearly was having sex with that girl, which, okay, we're all over the place right now, but I feel like I gotta stop here. The baby mama,
Gina Gershon's character. What was her name?
I wrote it down, but
there's
so many people in this film. It's so hard to keep track. Sasha Hassler.
Right.
We end up finding out that she had a kid with Castor. But the whole time, I thought that Sasha was with the Diedrich character.
So did I.
And it turns out Diedrich is her brother.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I was confused about that until Diedrich died.
I was like, wait, what?
I was like, oh, that was her brother this whole time? The whole time? Like, oh.
Because they definitely kissed on the mouth. I feel like. And it was very it had a very loving, creepy relationship. It was very romantic.
I thought she was sleeping with both of them.
Yeah,
and
that's what I got.
And then she just got pregnant by Castor.
Right.
But apparently that's her brother. So shout out to Diedrich, I guess.
Okay, so let's talk about Castor Troy and what a hot mess that he is. Castor, when we first see him, he's just this very wild man. It's in his eyes, the way that Nicolas Cage is acting. His eyes are always open super wide. He kills people willy-nilly. He has no regard for anything. And he has this weird obsession with using the word peach for everything, talking to these women about, oh, I could eat a peach all day. And I was like, all right, relax, bro. And there's a lot of unnecessary parts, the part where he's on the plane, he's on a private plane, he's trying to get away. And he has the stewardess, who's actually an undercover FBI agent. He has her sit on his lap. He sticks out his tongue. And then he's something about I want you to suck my tongue or.
Well, at first he's trying to hit on her and he says something along the lines of what are you doing later? Or where do you live? And then he's like, oh, let me rephrase that. And then he says tell me how badly you'd want to suck my tongue or something. Yeah. And then
he sticks it mad far out.
He sticks his tongue out, and then she starts
sucking on it. It was so disgusting. I was so disgusted by it. I don't know why, because it's just a kiss technically, but it was just so gross. I was like, bro, I don't even.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great to watch. I didn't really enjoy. But even before that, there's this scene where he's planting the bomb in the LA Convention Center.
Oh God!
And he's dressed up as a priest. Yeah. But he's dancing around. And then he's grabbing Sasha's butt, and I'm like, but he's doing all this while there's a Catholic choir singing hymns. So I'm like, does nobody notice this man?
Yeah, he goes up to one of the choir members.
Was that not Sasha?
I didn't think so.
Oh, that was just a random woman?
Random woman, I thought.
So then, but she has no reaction.
No.
So then it was wait, what's happening?
He just grabbed, and he goes, ah! He yells, and he grabs it. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of it.
I literally started the movie, and I had to pause it. I told my husband, I was like, I need to get a drink. Because I couldn't.
There's no way.
I couldn't just sit through it.
There's no way you're getting through it.
It was so much happening. I was like, I don't understand any of this.
off rips. I mean, like, there's an entire like chase and capture scene in like the first 15 minutes.
Oh yeah,
which is usually the type of scene that you would see at the end of the film. Mm-hmm. Like that's how this movie starts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this movie is complete chaos, and we haven't even gotten to the 30-minute mark yet.
Well, let's talk about that opening chase scene.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Through the plane hangar.
Yeah.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Mainly because the way that they end up capturing Castor is that he ends up standing behind a jet engine that ends up blasting him through a wind tunnel. And somehow there is not one burn mark on his entire body.
No. He gets knocked out.
He just gets passed out.
And then they're like, he goes into a coma.
And we're like, we got him now. And I'm like, he should be fried. To a crisp, like burnt to a crisp.
I think the other thing, even before that was very ridiculous to me was just like, for some reason, the guns.
Gold guns?
The guns in this movie act like rocket launchers, apparently. Yeah. Like, they shoot the guns, they make a huge noise. The holes that they leave are enormous. I'm like, are there cannons coming out of these pistols? I don't understand. They're blowing huge holes into everything. At one point, I don't remember if it was Castor or Sean. I think it was Archer at this point. He's trying to stop the plane.
Sean Archer, yeah.
And he basically shoots the turbines of the plane with his gun.
Oh yeah,
and the turbines explode and the gun and like the plane can't take off. And I'm like, a bullet would not do that. Yeah. It would cause damage for sure, but it wouldn't blow up a plane turbine. Like, that's not how guns work.
It's funny you say that because I was watching it with my husband and he was like, wait, is that a pistol or semi-automatic? He was like, pistols don't work like that.
No, they don't.
Like he would fire one bullet and then like 5 bullets would come out. He's like, it's a pistol. That's not how that works.
Speaking of which, there are multiple parts in this movie, especially at the end, where the LAPD show up and they have like automatic weapons.
Yes.
And I'm like, what police department anywhere in America has this? And then he's killing them anyway.
Yes, of course.
He's able to withstand any bullet, any gunfire in his direction. None of the cops are able to withstand any gunfire. As soon as he shoots at them, they automatically die.
Yes.
And then he just runs up to one of the dead ones and picks up his like automatic rifle, and then it's like he's running around now with this like Mac 10. I didn't understand what was going on. Why would an LA cop have that type of artillery?
But not just that, the cops are all wearing vests. So
that's true.
So how are they all dying? I don't understand. They're not all headshots. So I'm like, how is everyone dying?
These guns, the guns in this movie are way more powerful than your average gun. For whatever reason, they're able to like blow holes in the wall. They're able to shoot down planes. They're able to shoot down boats. Like, they're doing everything with these guns.
And then I think another thing about this movie that stood out to me was how much Archer put into either finding Castor or capturing Castor. It was like, this was all he was obsessed with. So much so, the scene you mentioned where Castor's in that private plane, he's trying to take off to get away. Your man Archer gets into like a helicopter or something.
Yes, that's right.
And then he's like, no, we got to stop him. So they fly on top of.
Well, this is right after he tries to play chicken with the plane.
God, I forgot about that.
While he's in a truck.
He's in a truck. It's like, so
and his boss is like, no, pull out, don't do it.
Come on, let's go.
God damn it! Don't play chicken with the goddamn jet.
Scout winners, god damn
it!
It's like, wait, so you're just gonna kill yourself, hoping that you'll kill him as well? I didn't understand that. Playing chicken with a plane is crazy word.
Well, he did say that he didn't feel like he had anything to live for anymore.
You have a whole family back home.
So he probably was willing to kill himself.
But your wife and daughter need you.
Yes, but that is what he said.
Yes.
Like, the character seemed like he had not forgiven himself for his son dying, which
it had nothing to do with him.
He literally got shot in the back.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't his fault, but he's a parent. The guy was trying to kill me. He killed my son. I wish it was me instead. So he's basically spent the past 6 years, yes, trying to find Castor, but also in a state of self-loathing because he regrets living while his son died.
Yeah, I understand that.
Which would actually kind of explain him being willing to sacrifice his life in order to take this guy out.
But it's like this all he's
Playing
living
chicken
for.
with a plane,
Yeah.
maybe not the smartest way to do that.
And then he's in the helicopter and they fly on top of the private plane. They basically try to like not really land, but they're lowering the plane down low enough so that the private plane can't take off.
No, not they.
Well,
He's in a helicopter by himself, which apparently he knows how to fly helicopters. So he's in the helicopter by himself. And they're like, what is he doing?
his boss is like, stop it, Archer, damn it.
Just let them go. He's like, nah, I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
Oh man, it's so funny. Yeah, so they end up getting Castor. He's in a coma, and then they're able to also arrest his brother Pollux.
Castor and Pollux.
Whoa, speaking of those names.
Why are these their names?
Those names actually are from something.
Okay.
So Castor and Pollux.
Named after Pastor Troy.
They are the Gemini twins in Greek mythology.
Ah.
And Archer is represented by the Sagittarius sign.
I see.
Which is interesting because both of these signs are actually opposite, but they're also compatible. Which is why with the face-off, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Because their faces come off.
Yes.
And they have a face-off.
Yes. Pollux. So here's the thing about this I found interesting. They mentioned that Pollux has, he's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Okay.
But when I'm looking at Pollux and Castor, I'm like, bro, I think Castor's the one who's schizophrenic because he was so over the top, bro. Like, he was so out of control that I was just like, Pollux didn't seem to have any issues whatsoever. So I'm like, I think they might have misdiagnosed the brothers.
The only sign that there was something up with him is the fact that his brother would like tie his shoes for him, which I thought was a little odd. But
yeah,
there was nothing about him that seemed particularly like off. He does say early in the film, like he shows up to his crew, which includes these siblings who we thought were a couple,
Lord, and
his brother. And he says something along the lines of like, he's holding his crew accountable, like, make sure you keep my brother safe. Mm-hmm. Which for me was a sign that, oh, this kid is obviously going to die.
Yeah.
Which he later does.
He does. With his shoe untied. And
he has this pack, I guess, that he receives every time he rejoins his crew from some sort of mission. And it'll have like a pair of shades and some chiclets,
pills,
and his 2 gold-plated guns,
cigarettes,
a bunch of hand-rolled cigarettes, and something else maybe. But it was a money clip that looked like a dragon.
Yes,
can't forget the money clip. So this is another one of these things that's just like in this movie for no real reason. Like, it doesn't actually play into the plot at any point other than to just show that this character is eccentric.
Exactly. I thought for sure it would come back and like mean something at the end. Like they'd open the box and I don't know, something would be in there, but no. There was no real reason.
The only real callback, I guess, was the fact that he's a smoker, and there's a scene where he's in John Travolta's skin where he catches his daughter smoking, but instead of yelling at her, he bums a cigarette off her and they smoke together.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, wow, Dad's so cool now. But no, it's actually the guy that killed your little brother. So can we talk a little bit about this surgery scene?
Oh, God, yes.
The face off, when the faces actually come off.
Dear God. So, again, I think Joel mentioned this before, but just to reiterate, the whole mission is that what's his name? Archer is going to take the face off of Castor and place it on him. They're also going to modify his body so that, of course, he'll look like him. They're already the same height, luckily. And I'm guessing they have the same eye color, too, because, like, you can't to take out people's eyeballs, but God knows. But they're basically just like cutting like almost like
with a scalpel. They take a scalpel and they just like slice around their face.
It's like Silence of the Lambs, is what I thought about.
Yeah, we're just gonna suck this off with this suction machine
and just place
it over
you.
And then we're gonna swap them, and then we're gonna just place the other guy's face on top.
It wasn't though. The other remember, the initially Archer's face was being held like in this
crowd. This
case because Castor was still in a coma. So it's like, we're going to leave him here with his bloodied up face, bandaged face, because after they switch faces, basically Castor ends up going to jail. Sorry, not Castor. Archer goes to jail pretending to be Castor. And the whole idea is, I'm going to go to jail where my brother is imprisoned. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to find out where this bomb is going to explode, and then I'll be able to stop it and save the day. That's the whole thing, which of course is ridiculous. And also very unsafe, because the only 3 people that know he's doing this is the special ops surgeon and his 2 bosses. No one else knows.
All right. This is where this makes no sense, right? This entire movie.
I mean, it's sci-fi, so sci-fi action.
I can even accept the fact that they are able to switch faces and bodies. All right, like I'm able to accept that.
Okay.
What I don't accept and what I will not accept is that nobody knows about this, including his wife.
Yeah, why would
who they explicitly say, they tell him not to tell her.
Yeah.
Like, yo, make sure your wife doesn't find out that we're doing any of this. Why not?
Why?
Then also, you're placing him in a maximum security prison. This man is a terrorist with a whole bunch of dead bodies on his record. So he's not going to nice prison.
Mm-hmm. He could die in there.
He's going into prison with some of the hardest criminals in the world. And this is not even like a regular prison. Like, this is some sort of top secret prison that people don't even know about.
Yeah,
they don't even know that it exists.
The guy said the Geneva Convention does not apply here, which is like, bro, what?
Right. So then it's like basically like, yo, these are the worst of the worst, and we keep them here and do whatever we want. Yeah. So you're putting one of your cops in this place that's like off the grid, and you're not even telling the guards in there, like, hey, this is
one of ours.
Like,
yeah.
Make sure, like. So then it's like, wait, what?
It made no sense.
And what's stopping not only an inmate from killing him, but one of the guards?
Right.
Because there's at one point where he gets in a fight and the guards don't break it up because they're just like watching it, like, oh yeah, like
this guy's trash anyways.
This is cool. We'll stop the fight when we want. So yeah, it didn't make any sense to me that it was so easy. Not to mention. Somehow the real Castor wakes up from his coma, and he's just like in a hospital room completely by himself. He's not even handcuffed to the bed. So this is an international terrorist that you finally catch, and you just like leave him in a room by himself and just hope that he doesn't wake up from his coma.
There's no guards. There's nothing.
Him escaping was very easy to do. Yeah. And then he just calls his crew like, hey, come pick me up. So then they just show up and just kill everybody.
First they go to the surgeon's house. They capture him. They bring him in and they say, hey, put Archer's face on my boy. So now it's like a complete swap. And then they end up burning the surgeon as well as his 2 bosses. So everyone who even knows about this swap.
The surgeon, the bosses, and the entire lab.
It's like, yeah, everything's burned up.
So there's actually no record of them doing the swap.
Exactly.
And of course, there's only 3 people that know about it. So then if you go to anybody and say like, hey, I'm actually the other guy.
You sound ridiculous.
Then it's like, no, you're not, bro.
But I will say, so the scene where after the switch is complete and I call him the fake Archer because this is basically Castor.
Right.
Fake Archer goes to the prison and he goes to the real Archer. The way he came in was just like mad jubilant and just like, surprise, like, it's me.
You good looking. You're hot.
It's like looking in a mirror, only not.
And like just the fear on Nicolas Cage's face when he realizes like, yo, I'm legit trapped here. Like no one knows who I am. and like,
yeah,
that's it.
And nobody knows this prison exists.
I'm stuck here.
Yeah. And not to mention this guy's about to like go home to my wife.
Oh yeah, he did mention that, how he was gonna go home and basically bang her.
Which he does.
He does. That's a shame.
One thing that I thought was interesting, that was kind of cool about this movie was when I don't know if they were doing this on purpose or if this was supposed to be like tongue in cheek or what, but when they swap, and like, you know, Cage is playing Travolta's character and Travolta's playing Cage's character, I feel like they both start doing impersonations of each other.
Oh, absolutely.
So then it's like when Travolta is now Castor Troy, he's basically just acting like Nicolas Cage.
It's funny.
It is pretty funny. Like, and I did actually kind of enjoy that, like that whole little thing where it felt like they were kind of like winking at the audience while they were doing it, of like, oh, look, like this is how Nick Cage is acting for the first 30 minutes of the movie, and now I'm going to do it for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's so over the top. Like, it's so over the top. And I did like that. I think there was one part where John Travolta is pretending to be the other guy, and he makes a comment about like seeing his face, and he's like, I mean, this chin is so ridiculous.
You're right, exactly.
It's like you're talking about your own face, which is really funny. Okay, so I was
because they both basically got to play both characters.
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah,
I was a little confused. So after they do this revolutionary facial transplant, and Castor's face is now on Archer's body or whatever, fake Castor looks in the mirror after the surgery. He gets so pissed, he ends up breaking in the mirror, and he's like, F you, F you, F you to all his bosses. And I'm like, did you not know what surgery you were about to have? Like, he was so upset, and I couldn't understand. I was like,
it was like it took a moment for it to like kick in. Like he looked in the mirror first, and then he was like thinking about it, like, how do I feel about this? And then he decided, like, nah, I'm mad pissed off. Like, I'm very upset.
It was so bizarre. I was like, why is he doing any of this? Like, you didn't know what was going to happen?
Also, there is no scenario in which I am going to embody and take on the face of the man that murdered my son.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So, like, there's nobody else in this department. Find somebody else to do it. Because it also isn't like he needed to go into the prison in order to stop the bomb. He just needed someone to go into the prison to get the information.
They needed him, though, because remember when they said to him, like, look, you guys are the same height. You're just saying, like, right. You know, they did the whole
It's the only way.
Yeah, it's going back to the whole Armageddon.
Right.
Like, you need this character to do it.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought up Armageddon and like it's the only way trope, because I feel like there were a number of tropes that I noticed throughout this movie.
Yes, get into it.
First of all, the rogue cop.
Oh, right? You need it.
So like I won't even go through the whole full list. I always think about like Bruce Willis movies or Mel Gibson movies or Arnold Schwarzenegger or whomever. But there's always the main character, Eddie Murphy. The main character is always this cop who's kind of just like doing his own thing. I mean, even McNulty on The Wire is like this rogue cop who's just kind of doing things by his own rules, and his boss gets pissed off at him and he says, "This is the last time I'm telling you. No more funny stuff." So he's doing that. Right? So there's the rogue cop trope. Then there's this the one last time trope. Right? Oh yeah.
He tells his wife this is the last mission.
Yeah.
Although she
one last
no idea.
It's always the last one. Before everything will be fine. We're so close. We've worked so hard.
It's almost like the one last bank heist.
Oh yeah,
it's always
of course.
One last,
yeah, always one last time.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, come on, we could just walk away right now. Let me just do it one more time.
We'll be good for the rest of our life.
After this, I promise, I'll be ready to be a family man again.
Yeah. God.
Michael Corleone in The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
One last time, and then that lasts for the next 40 years of his life.
Lord.
The other thing, oh man, there was one more. This is the other thing I was thinking about. And I think like this is specific to the 90s. So this is like now the information age is like starting to take off, and like the internet's kind of this new mysterious thing. But for the most part, we're still using like floppy disks. Personal computers are still have a lot of their capabilities are very limited. In 90s movies like these, whenever they would show like computer records, they always looked like no other database that actually exists in real life. It's like, yo, computers don't look or work anything like this. And I'm thinking particularly when they're doing this this ridiculous swap scene where it's like they're filling in his face. And it's like facial structure 98% complete, and then it's like, wait, what is what program is this? What operating system allows for this program? What is this?
It's in the future, bro.
Or even when even at the beginning of the movie where he's trying to find Castor and he like goes into his LAPD terrorism database,
right?
And it's just like this running list of all the people that Castor's killed.
Yeah.
And so like he clicks the next button, and then it's just like showing like a photo and the person's name and age and height and weight, and then it's like how they died.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? What program is this? And then when they finally capture him and he's in his coma, he pulls up the same database again, and then it has like Castor Troy up there with his mugshot, and then across the screen in big letters, it just says "Case closed."
Yeah.
Man,
that's how they
my
look.
God.
That's how databases look,
That
man.
was cracking me up. Thankfully, they don't do this anymore because like everybody who watches movies knows how to use computers now.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got away with this at the time because it's just like, oh yeah, I guess that's
guess.
probably how the cops do it. Like nobody knew. It was 1997.
That's how the cops do it.
But it's like, yo, these computer records are completely unbelievable when you watch them looking back.
Even so, when you go back to talking about being the road cop, I thought about this one particular scene where Archer this is before he switches his face in the body, but Archer is trying to figure out where this bomb is. And so they end up bringing in all of Castor's goons and they start interviewing them one by one. And by interviewing, I mean, like, he's basically just torturing them.
Right.
And I mean, to the point, like at one point, two guys walk out and he's talking about where the bathroom is, and they're like, "What's that smell?" And he's like, "Yeah, you shit his pants." And it's like, what did you do? Like, what did you do to this man?
He dead?
Right? It's like, what did he do?
What exactly happened?
And then another guy goes in there and he basically just rams his gun into the guy's eye socket. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, like you're on camera doing this. You can't do that. But it's just like, oh, this is good police work. Like I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, bro, this is not.
Yeah, that's
how
what.
that works.
That's when he like throws the guy on the floor, puts his gun in his face. And then that's when he's like, oh, he like gives up a date or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, we got the information. And I was like, wait, that's it? Like, no reprimand, no. Like, I guess everybody in LAPD is fine with this, but that didn't seem appropriate. But
it was really gross. I was like, anytime the cops are acting out of control like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really into that, but who am I?
So I talked about the computer records in the database and how it's very like reminiscent of 90s movies. I think there are a few things in this film that like very much reminded me of like the 90s. And specifically things that like you just don't see in movies anymore. First of all, we brought this up before. I think we talked about this when we watched The Fugitive and also when we watched Speed. But like 90s action movies for some reason are tremendously long.
So long for no reason. You know,
these are not plot-driven films, so I'm not really sure exactly why that is.
Well, in particular for this film, I was thinking about towards the end. There's a scene you mentioned before where like the fake Archer has a conversation with his daughter where he smokes with her, and there's actually a scene where she gets assaulted by a guy in the car.
I didn't want to talk about that scene.
And I will get back to that. But after it happens, the fake Archer basically gives her a knife and says, "This happens to you again, put it in the guy's leg and twist it." So fast forward towards the end of the film, when she ends up finding out that this guy's not really her dad, he has her captive, she gets the knife, puts it in his leg and twists it. So I'm thinking like, this is towards the end. Like she did the thing he told her to do. It's going to like help him to bleed out. Maybe the other guy will shoot him and they can like get him. And the movie kept going for another like 35 minutes. And I was like, why didn't we just end it here? Like, this was like a nice big, whatever. The dad's here.
And also, apparently, whatever he told her is not true because he did not
He didn't bleed it out at all.
At all. Like, he drove a speedboat after that. He was fine. He was limping maybe, but it wasn't like his leg was gushing with blood.
I really thought it was gonna be like this big climax, and then it was like, oh, this didn't really do anything. It was just like,
ah! and then we just were supposed to forget about the fact that he got stabbed in the leg.
So I didn't really care for that. All right, so let's go back to this assault.
Yeah, let's go back to the assault.
That was a blast from the past, and talking about things that did not age well. So what were your thoughts?
I guess the thing was, yes, it came out of nowhere because she's out on a date with this guy. He's driving her and he takes her back to her house, pulls into her driveway. He's trying to give her a goodbye kiss, but then he starts getting a little pushy and grabby. And when she tries to push him off, he basically won't take no for an answer.
Right.
So I'm like, this guy really wants a goodbye kiss. But then it feels like he's going to like sexually assault her.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what exactly is the plan here? Because he waited until he pulled into her driveway to do this. It wasn't like he it wasn't like he took her somewhere and it was gonna like
a make out point.
Do something devious where nobody could see him. But it's like you put up in the driveway, her father, it's not really her father, but her father is watching you through their living room window. So you're not hiding at any point. Like you're in the middle of this suburban neighborhood and you pull up to the driveway of her house and then try to rape her? Like, what are you doing, dude? It didn't make any sense at all.
So, yes, I thought that, but I'm going to take it one step deeper.
Okay.
So the character who assaulted her is played by Danny Masterson from That 70s Show.
Oh, God.
That's that.
Oh, God.
And that guy got 30 years to life in 2023 for being convicted of 2 rapes.
He got 30 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I remember hearing about it, but I didn't realize that
he got 30 years to life. Currently, he has an appeal that he filed in December that is currently pending. So, yeah. A little bit of foreshadowing there, or art imitating life. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, that's not
but,
a good one.
Yeah, that whole thing just didn't age. I was just like, get that whole thing out of here.
Yeah, it just also just felt very... Yeah, like it was kind of
like, why is this happening?
Too.
Yeah.
I guess the whole point of it was to kind of foreshadow the whole knife in the thigh thing. But again, like it doesn't end up playing as big of a part. Because at this point, like you said, they've had this big face-off scene with everybody pointing guns at each other.
Oh man, that scene was wild.
That is
in a church.
That is the next scene we definitely have to talk about. But that whole thing happens. This is feeling very climaxy. Then we have his wife shows up, his daughter shows up. Who's my real dad? He takes the bad guy, who's the fake dad, takes the daughter hostage, and then it's kind of like, oh, like this is me, the guy that killed my son, and my family's stuck in the middle. It's symbolic of basically the entire concept of this movie,
right?
And to your point, like this is the way you end the film.
Yes.
The daughter makes a choice. She stabs him. The real dad shoots him.
Yeah.
Wrap up the movie. But then it just, like you said, there's a speedboat chase.
And that speedboat chase was so out of control. I felt like I was watching Speed again.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well have been.
I mean, I guess it was Speed 2 cruise control.
Speed 2 cruise control.
That's what I was watching. I mean, at the very end of that scene where the speedboat ends up exploding and they both get like thrown, bro, I was dying laughing because I was like, this is so
there was a lot of that.
ridiculous. They get thrown, and again, like where they land is basically close to the shore. So I'm like, how did the impact alone not kill them?
People are flying.
They didn't hit
throughout
rocks.
This movie.
Like they didn't hit. Like it just didn't make any sense. I'm like, how are they still alive and walking around? And going back to the daughter. I'm sorry. Going back to the daughter. So there's a part where, of course, she's not quite sure who her real father is, but when she's in the church and she and her mom are trying to get away, it's almost like you can tell that the guy who, I'm just gonna say Nicolas Cage character. Nicolas Cage is like almost like running away with her, trying to shield her, and then you see the fake Archer is like shooting the gun at her. But then later on, when fake Archer and fake what's his name, Castor are like grappling, and it's like, honey, shoot me. No, I'm your real father. Shoot me. We're watching, and my husband's like, did she just forget John Travolta was shooting at her? Like,
right. While Nicolas Cage was actively trying to save her.
It's like, I don't know which one's my real dad. It's like, he was just trying to kill you. You should know which one is your
One of them was shooting at you, and one of them was trying to protect you. I wonder which one your dad is.
So it's just like, all right.
I can't tell. He did give me a knife. We smoked cigarettes together in my bedroom. Maybe that is my real dad, even though my real dad has never done any of those things before.
He doesn't smoke at all. Oh, man. So it just, a lot of that was just very, very entertaining. So let's talk about this.
Well, before we talk about this this face-off scene, because you remind me of something when you talked about them flying out of the plane. There's a part in the beginning, how I said the beginning of the scene, the beginning of the movie felt like the end of an action movie with this whole plane hangar scene.
Yes.
And there's a part where like the bad guys and the cops are shooting at each other. Of course, all the cops are dying. Castor is basically like killing the entire police force by himself.
Yes.
With his 2 gold-plated guns. And people are flying all over the place. Like they're getting shot. And they're basically propelling backwards as if, I don't even know, as if what? Like as if I don't even know.
It's like every blast is from a shotgun.
Yes.
That's what it felt like.
Yes, that's right. There's one part, I don't know if you saw this, but a cop gets shot and he goes flying. And if you are looking, you can actually see the strings that are pulling him.
No.
I swear the strings are visible. No. And I'm like, yo, did they not notice that in post? Like, they didn't edit that out? Like, I'm seeing the strings on the guy's shirt, and they're pulling him up as he goes flying backwards. It's the only time I remember seeing it, but I definitely saw it. It's in the first 20 minutes of the movie. I'm like, this is really ridiculous.
Oh, I gotta go back and find that.
You definitely have to just go back.
Because that's hilarious.
We might just have to pull it up after we finish recording.
We might have
just so that you can see it. But another thing I noticed, there's a part where the LAPD invade his crew's place, right? This is the part where he finds out about the son.
Like towards the end, yeah.
And then they're worried that the son might get shot, and they're trying to hide him, and da-da-da. And at this point, this, again, is this shootout with grenade launchers. And by grenade launchers, I mean hand pistols. So they're shooting at each other. Bang, 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 bang. Everything in the entire apartment's getting blown to bits. He's like, hey, they're ruining my place.
Yeah. That's the brother.
And at one point, there's like a bar that some of the bad guys are hiding behind, and they're trying to shoot at the cops. But instead of like ducking and hiding and then like shooting from the corner, they're diving over the top of the bar.
Yeah.
Like they're diving towards the gunfire and shooting.
Yeah.
And somehow not getting hit.
No.
So there were a lot of times throughout this movie where like just the physics, I mean, we watch Speed, so I guess whatever. But like it doesn't make sense why you would jump into gunfire to shoot a gun. And it seems like it was just completely up to whoever was the most important person in that scene. Would just depend on whether or not they got shot.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah, you're true.
There's no way that there are 10 cops shooting at one person. He's running away from all of them, but every time he shoots, one of them gets hit. So like it was just like, yo, there's no scenario in which you would be diving into gunfire to shoot a gun.
And also, I feel like these cops had no regard that there was a little boy in there. Like, they just started blasting away and just, like, did not care that there was an innocent child right there.
Yeah, it also felt like they weren't even, like, observing the scene.
At all.
To even notice that there was a child there.
No.
It was just like, yo, he's in there. So let's
kill everybody.
Let's just shoot everyone.
They were acting like a villain in a Batman movie. Like, no one gets out alive. It was like, why?
It was like no one gets out alive.
It was very bizarre. So I want to go back a little bit to one part that really pissed me off was when fake Castor is in the prison and he approaches his brother and they start chatting up and he is able to get the information out from the brother. He's able to figure out where the bomb is going to be, when it's going to blow up and all that. As soon as he gets the information, he basically blows his cover and tells the brother, like, you're so pathetic.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you tell him?
He does it immediately.
Why would you tell him?
Like, bro, you're still in
prison.
prison.
You're still here.
You're still in prison.
So, of course, Pollux just goes and, like, turns evidence for the state and is like, yeah, peace, I'm getting out of here in exchange for your ass rotting in jail.
Right.
And then he's just sitting here like, huh? And it's like, why would you do that? Get the information quietly, go back to your people, and get out.
And then he tries to plead with the guard, like, wait, you don't understand. I'm really Sean Archer. He's like, yeah, I'm sure you are.
The bomb's going to go off at the convention center. The guy's like, all right, shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I do not care. He literally has him in a cell, like, under the ground.
Yeah.
And people are just, like, stepping over it. Like, it's like sewer grates above his cell.
His hand was up on the bar, and the guard just stepped on his hand and was like, all right, shut up.
Why is he down there? Why do you even have a cell down there? People are stepping on the grates like it's like a New York City sidewalk. Like, I didn't understand why that was happening. But anyway, let's talk about...
The prison escape?
You say it again?
The prison escape.
Oh, I mean...
Real fast. The prison
I didn't
escape,
even have anything for
the prison escape was so crazy to me because in this jail, they're basically just giving people this punitive electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
Whenever they get into a fight or whatever, they just shock the hell out of them. And he decides that this is the only way he can get out because when they're in this prison, they have these ridiculous shoes on. And these prison shoes basically restrict them from being able to walk, to go anywhere. They're like
electric boots.
It's like, yeah, the
the
entire prison is like has a magnetic field, apparently.
This is how we track where all of the prisoners are at any given moment. We put trackers in their magnetic boots, and whenever we want them to stop moving, we turn them on. It's like, wait, what is going? Like, why is any of this?
And they're falling over like when they.
You've also invested a ton of money in this prison that nobody's supposed to know exists because you're giving everyone magnetic boots. Not to mention the fact that it's basically like on like an oil rig, like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, it's so
there's no money that seems to be invested in any other part of this prison. But somehow they have this elaborate magnetic scheme with all the prisoners wearing these high-tech boots that are from the future.
God. But the only time they take the boots off is when you get the shock treatment because obviously they can't shock you with the boots on because you'll die. So his plan was, I'm going to get in trouble, get the shock treatment. Before I get the shock treatment, I'm going to be able to break out and fight my way out.
And what weapon does he bring with him to make sure he gets
cigarette.
out? Yes, a lit cigarette.
A lit cigarette so we can
Does
burn.
anyone have a light?
I need a light! Anybody got a light? Anybody got a light?
Does anyone have a light?
So he goes to get the shock treatment. They take off his boots. Now, mind you, before this happens, there's a guy who was sitting in a chair, but prior to that, they are frying the crap out of this man. This man had vomited all over himself, all over the seat. Like this.
And that guy's also from The Wire.
Oh. Well, so is the boss.
Yeah.
The black boss who they burned to a
Black
crisp.
boss is from The Wire, and that guy who gets his brain burned to bits.
Yeah. So this poor guy just finishes his therapy. He's laying on the floor like drooling, spitting up on himself. And basically the fake Castor is able to get him riled up. He's like, yo, we can get out of here. Like, help me out, basically. And the guy somehow is able to jump up and attack the guard. They fight off all these guards, just the two of them. And then once they're able to do so, they're able to break into wherever office they have that controls the boots. And they turn off the power so then all the prisoners can now run around.
Also,
like,
how in the world would this LAPD counter-terrorist agent know how to override a prison security system?
It didn't make any sense.
A prison that he's never been to
Never
before?
been to. And then also, this man was just drooling all over himself. How was he able to even stand up?
He was literally half brain dead.
Yes.
And then all he's like, hey, don't you want to escape? And then he just like snaps out of it. And he's able to beat up guards.
But then...
He just snapped out of it. He was literally laying on the ground
drooling. Yeah. And he was like,
huh?
We can get out. He said, out.
That's what he said.
He said, out.
That's what he said. He turned into Scooby-Doo, apparently.
Out.
And then Nicholas, after breaking out of the jail, he gets to the top. He realizes now he's on an oil rig. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's cooked. No. He jumps off the oil rig into the ocean and somehow swims how many miles to the coast?
I mean, not to mention, like, him escaping was very ridiculous. They basically start a prison riot, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But even, let's say, for argument's sake, he's able to evade a helicopter.
Yeah, that's
in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Because they wouldn't just see him swimming.
And just shoot him.
Or just wait for him to get on land and arrest him immediately. But whatever. After that, he's supposed to be, like, he broke out of prison. But he's moving around LA very freely. Like, it's not like he's, like, in hiding or, like, he only comes out at night.
Yeah.
He's just kind of, like, around.
He's just out here.
And he's, like, shows up to his house. He, like, has a conversation with his wife. He's going to the hospital. He's doing all these things. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be, like, on the run?
It should be, like, wanted everywhere.
It should have been like The Fugitive.
Exactly.
Which is like a more realistic expectation of like how someone would be acting if the cops wanted you arrested.
Bro, you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
He's actually like a terrorist for hire because apparently the terrorist companies were paying him $10 million to do this bomb. So like he's like terrorist,
Hitman.
Yeah. But again, it's like, bro, like you'd be on the most wanted list for sure.
Yeah, he was moving around like very easily and freely.
Good Lord.
So I do want to talk about this face-off scene, but
yes,
there's one other thing that I just want to ask about because I mentioned that there's this part where, the real Archer, who now looks like Castor, shows up to his house to talk to Archer's wife, and he's basically giving her all these things of like, these are things that only I would know, and this is how I'm going to prove to you that I'm actually your husband. And he explains this ridiculous story about how they switched bodies and faces. And I'm wondering, if you're the wife, like, how are you taking all of this?
There's no way.
Because on the one hand, like, you seem to know a lot of, like, very private information about my husband. But also, you look exactly like the man that murdered my son.
There's no way. I would have already been screaming the place down and calling the cops. Like, I don't think he would have had the opportunity to even talk to me. Because I'd be losing it. Because, like,
yeah.
How, like, I just don't understand. Like, and she was, like, a little bit afraid of him and a little bit tentative. But I just felt like her reaction, I would have been wilding. I'd have been wilding.
She was like, oh, I don't know what to think.
And it came down to the blood type because one was AB
and one was
O negative.
Yeah.
And so that's how they knew who was who. And she's a doctor, of course, so she was able to get his blood sample and figure out it was actually him. But yeah, I feel like,
but
again...
but you still look like the bad guy. And I feel like I would have a hard time getting past that.
Because also, like, that's not a thing. Like, I would feel like, there's no way, like...
Well, yes,
like,
that's not a thing.
Like, I'd be like, there's no way he took your face. Like, bro, you probably just studied up on my husband. Like, you're a terrorist. I'm sure you have files on us. I'm not going to believe a word that you're saying. There's absolutely no way.
All right, so face off. So the whole plan is... Castor, who's pretending to be an LAPD cop at this point, basically kills his mentor and his boss. Mm-hmm. And he notices that the boss is like having some heart issues, and so he basically like just speeds it along, kills the guy. Oh, he had a heart attack. So now obviously he has to show up to this funeral because this was his mentor, even though he's posing. So the real Archer figures out he has to show up, and this is how I'm going to catch him. So he shows up at the funeral, but he doesn't go inside, obviously, because he looks like Castor. And so he waits for the funeral to end, and then he shows up. But he sends a note to Castor during the ceremony to tell him he's there. And the note was just a photo of the son that he killed. So he's like, hey, this person in the back, he like gives it to some boy. Hey, this person in the back wants you to have this. And he sees the photo and he's like, and he crumples it up. But then like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Until everybody's gone.
I was like, okay.
And then like they show back up. For some unknown reason, there's doves flying everywhere.
So many doves. So many doves.
I don't understand why there's this many doves in this like private funeral ceremony. And they have a bunch of cheesy lines.
Oh, it's so bad.
There's I don't even know if this was before. Oh, I think this was at the friend's house, actually. The part where they had, where they had the double-sided mirror.
Oh my God, yes. They both go to shoot each other through the mirror and no one gets shot.
But it's like, I'm looking at you, but I'm really looking at myself.
Right. And I'm going to shoot.
So why don't we just trade back?
You can't give back what you've taken from me.
Oh, well. Plan B. Let's just kill each other.
So then they both are staring at this mirror. They're on either side of the mirror. They both point guns at it and shoot. And like you said, neither one of them gets.
It made absolutely no sense.
So now we have this face-off scene. They're shooting at each other. Nobody gets hit. But then Sasha shows up. But then the thugs show up. Mm-hmm. But then the wife shows up. And they're all like pointing guns at each other. So it's like he's pointing a gun. Like Castor's pointing a gun at Archer. And Archer's pointing a gun at Castor. Dumb. But then Sasha shows up. And she's pointing a gun at Castor because she thinks it's Archer. But then the wife shows up and she's in the middle. And then all they have these dramatic close-ups of everyone's eyes darting from person to person. And then the thugs show up and then they're holding a gun to the wife who's really... So it's like a 5-way standoff.
It is so bad.
It reminded me of that episode of The Office.
I knew you were going to say that because that's exactly what I thought.
Because I'm like, wait, is this where it came from?
I wonder.
Like, because I don't think I've seen this movie before. I'm fairly certain
I definitely
I've never
have
seen
not.
This movie before. So I just thought that they were just like making fun of action movies. Mm-hmm, but now I'm like, oh, like
that's from this
movie. They were making fun of this movie.
There were so many people with guns.
It was so many people with guns.
And they were all just standing there looking at each other like, what now? What now? I was like, bro, this is ridiculous. Somebody shoot. Please. Like, please. End this. Please. Somebody has to take a shot.
And then, of course, I don't even remember how they get out of it, but somehow he has multiple guns. Archer has multiple guns pointed at him, and none of them shoot him. But he's able to cross his hands and shoot two people at once.
That's right. That was very, what was that movie with those brothers?
Saints?
Yes, Blue Dog Saints. That's exactly what I thought when we did that 100%. the cross shot. So we were talking about that scene where they were at Castor's crew's house and that big shootout was happening. I was very confused as to why the fake Castor tried to shoot. It wasn't really fake Castor. It was actually fake Archer.
Okay.
Fake Archer tries to shoot the baby mama and the son. Like they're running away and he's shooting at them. And I'm like, why is he shooting at the girl that he slept with? I was so confused.
I guess he assumed that she...
Because his brother told him that, I guess, the fake... Castor was cuddling up with her and they were like hooking up or whatever, but it's like, but she thought that he was you. So why are you trying to shoot her? It's not like she was cheating on you.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't really, I don't know.
I was just like, I'm just scratching my head. Like
he was trying to kill everybody.
There were just so many questions going through my mind. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, this entire movie doesn't make any sense.
I was like, why is this movie happening?
You talked about things that didn't age well.
Yes.
And obviously the Danny Masterson scene. I think another thing for me was like, in general, the not only just the action sequences, but how dramatic they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like those dramatic action sequences just don't look good anymore.
Right.
Like, I feel like those were like a normal part of action movies at the time. I feel like films nowadays are a little bit more realistic. Even action movies, which are still going to have some level of camp to them, I feel like they're not so over the top that when you go back and watch these movies now, you're like, this is so ridiculous.
It's so different.
I feel like the only franchise that still does it is Fast and Furious.
Well.
And I feel like they're doing, like, they kind of are in on their own joke at this point. Like, we're doing this on purpose and we're almost kind of making fun of the 90s while we're doing it. But, like, if you watch, like, a regular action movie nowadays, they're not going to have half of the stuff that's in this movie.
No.
And so I feel like just retrospectively, they just don't age well.
That's fair enough. I think for me, maybe not doesn't age well, but I just didn't like. just straight up didn't like it. Was this weird thing that Archer's character kept doing where, like, he uses his hands to, like, trickle his fingers down someone's face.
That was,
What was that?
I didn't understand.
I
didn't understand.
It was very creepy because, like, at first when he was doing it, I was like, well, he doesn't have, like, any impairment with his vision. It's not like he's trying to, like, feel.
This is not Jamie Foxx and Ray.
Yeah,
It's
so I was like,
anyway.
why is he doing? I didn't get that at all, and I thought it was really creepy. And every time he did it, I was like, ugh, I got the ick, as they call it.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Did you have any? Did you enjoy any of the quotes from this film?
I don't know if I enjoyed. I mean, there's one part where the Castor dressed up as Archer goes to the jail to visit him, and he says to him, "I'm about to unleash a biblical plague that LA deserves."
Oh my God. I didn't even catch that line. That's really bad.
I had to jot that down because that was interesting. And then he says about his wife, "I got a lonely wife to F." Did I say that? And he's like, "Ooh, I mean, make love to."
Yeah.
He was a character, man.
For sure.
What about you?
There are a couple that stuck out to me. Because, again, when you talk about Fast and Furious, like, knowing how ridiculous they are, at the beginning when they're pitching this idea to Archer about, like, switching bodies, and he says, "So you're asking me to risk my neck, break the law, and also keep in the dark all the people who love me and trust me? I'll do it." It's like, wait, what, bro?
They would always have lines like that back then.
So it's like, you're listing all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, just so you could say, I'll do it.
They'll be like, "Sign me up."
It's like, all right, I'm in. You have to, like, growl your response, too.
And then he spazzes later on when he sees his face
Right.
for some reason.
And there's a part towards the, I guess towards the end, whatever the end of this movie
Good
is, because
Lord.
it feels like it never ended, where Archer, fake Archer, it's really Castor, is pretending to be Archer, and he's realizing that the wife is starting to figure some stuff out because he wakes up and she's not in the bed. And he says, "Lies, distrust, mixed messages. This is turning into a real marriage."
That was funny. Oh, man.
So at the end, they're able to finally kill this guy. They take his dead body and transform them back to their regular faces and bodies. Which at that point, I guess you don't need to transform Castor because he's dead. So you just
leave his face
I
off.
guess you just dump the
Just throw
face,
his face
dump
off.
the face in the casket with him. And he goes back, and I guess he's finally reunites with his wife. He realizes that he needs to have a relationship. His daughter is no longer goth anymore.
I know, thank God.
She's like a nice blonde girl. She's back to normal, and they're a happy family again.
And then he also adopts the little boy.
He also adopts a little boy. That's right.
Castor's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's happy. So what do you think the theme of this movie is?
I mean, I think it's the whole like idea of like looks can be deceiving, and the real value of a person is like who they are inside. Is really like the main theme.
Yeah, I think that's the big one. I think there's also this big theme about him coming to terms with the death of his son and the theme of needing closure in order to move past trauma. And I mean, it's cheesy, but at the end, when he's finally switching back to his normal body, he says, "Hey, I had this scar near my heart. I don't need it anymore."
Yeah. Because before he wanted the doctor to save the scar.
He wanted to save the scar because he wanted to save the guilt.
Yeah.
And now he's like, "Oh, I finally moved on."
But not really. You just ended up killing the guy.
I'm not sure exactly why he's so comfortable no longer needing the scar. I guess because now Castor's dead. But there was no, I don't know. I don't know if he ever really was able to come to terms with the death of his son. But in any way, I do feel like they were trying to at least send the message of like needing the closure. And a certain sense of me felt like them adopting this boy was him like replacing his son.
Yeah.
So again, maybe not like the best way. I don't know if this is like the best way to get closure is to like replace your dead child, but yeah, I think that was the message that they were at least trying to get across. The method at which he got there, maybe not to be recommended.
Well, I mean that's your take.
Right. I guess that's just my opinion.
That's your take. All right, some facts.
Yes.
So this movie was actually written with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in mind. But the problem with that is, can you imagine them trying to imitate each other the way that Travolta and Cage did?
No.
I don't think that would have gone well at all.
No.
Like, at all.
No.
So thank God that did not come into fruition because, good Lord. The stunts were real as CGI was not as advanced as now. It took them 4 weeks to film the speedboat chase. And I can't imagine the amount of money they spent doing that.
That speedboat chase was so... It was so overproduced almost that it was just like, all right, man. Because it doesn't really
add anything.
Anything, yeah. It's just like another ridiculous... And like the speedboat's going like 70 miles per hour. I'm standing in it while it's speeding.
No one falls off.
I get punched in the face and somehow I'm still on the boat. Like, you punch me in the face while a boat is speeding and I'm dead after that. That's it. I'm going to fall.
Me just standing, I'm going to fly off.
Right. Exactly. So whatever. But congratulations, I guess.
The latex dummies of Cage and Travolta had sewn in body hair and were animatronic with facial muscles that twitched and chests that rose to simulate breathing. You can actually see pictures of the dummies. One actually has its face off on Reddit. I did look at it. It's very creepy looking, to say the least.
Wonderful.
It's very gross. The magnetic boots that Archer wore in prison were the same boots the Goombas wore in Super Mario Brothers, 1993.
Wow. Huh.
So a nice little callback there. Another callback. In the prison lab, when Archer is going to escape, there is an engine cabinet, which means that this movie and Jurassic Park exist in the same universe.
InGen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Which is strange. The writers of this film had the movie White Heat from 1949 in mind. We mentioned this film when we were talking about Juice.
I actually went and watched it.
I did too.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. So if those of you who don't know, in that movie, an undercover cop ends up infiltrating a gang in order to take a gangster down, like while they're in prison. It's very interesting, and they kind of were thinking about that film. Talking about other films, there's a Hong Kong thriller called Internal Affairs, which is a less sci-fi take on this story. The director wanted to do a more realistic version, which, I mean, I understand why he wanted to do that. Later on, that movie, Internal Affairs, was adopted for American audiences, and we know and love that movie. It's called The Departed.
Oh, The Departed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a cop.
And that was Martin Scorsese's first Oscar for Best Picture.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's his first Oscar.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then lastly, per a November 2024 Sci-Fi article, Face Off 2 is in the works at Paramount Pictures.
Oh, my God.
And will center around the children of Castor and Archer.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I was like doing a deep dive into the film and like people were saying, and the argument is that both Cage and Travolta may come back. And at first I'm like, but Travolta's character is Cage's character is dead. What they were saying is that at the end of the film, when they have both of the bodies in the ambulance, if you notice, they didn't cover up one of the bodies. Typically, when someone is dead, they put them in a body bag or they cover their face. And the fact that they both were uncovered means that he possibly was still alive.
Oh,
so,
my goodness gracious.
There's that.
All right. Should we do our rewind ratings?
Yes.
All right.
We shall.
Rewind ratings.
I think I've been going a lot first, so I think you should go.
Yeah, from 1 to 5, based on how likely we are to rewatch this movie again in the future. I mean, I won't drag this on too much longer. I feel like the movie, number one, is just way too long. And I think for me that cuts down. I mean, like I said, it took me 3 sittings to get through this film.
That's crazy.
The acting is okay, but it's way too dramatic of a script that it just gets in the way of all the performances. And the action is also way over the top. I think there are a few good things in here that we mentioned, but there are way more things that distract from it. So I'm going to give this a 2.
Okay. God. I'm definitely going low. I'll start there. I'm definitely going low for the reasons that you mentioned.
Start low and build your way up.
Yeah. I'm definitely going low because I felt like it's one of those movies where you're constantly like having to put your phone down. Cause like I would like get kind of like distracted, like, oh, this is another action scene. And then I'd have to remind myself, Andrene, you're doing a podcast. And I was like, oh, I put my phone down.
Listen, if were it not for this podcast, I don't think I would have gotten to the end of the film.
So that's kind of an indicator that it's not that great, that I had to keep reminding myself that I had to pay attention. So I think I enjoyed it maybe even less than you did, if I'm being honest. I'm giving it a 1.5.
Well, there you go. All right. Let us know your rewind rating for Face Off from 1997. We will be back next week with another 90s film. You can follow us on social media at Rewind Rewatch Podcast or at RR90s. And you can also dig into our archives to listen to any of our previous episodes. Also want to mention that we also now have a Patreon up and running. Shout out to everyone who's already subscribed to the Patreon.
Out.
We have already got 1 episode up there. We will plan to have even more episodes and more good things for the subscribers. So if you haven't gotten a chance to look into that, please continue to look at our links and you'll be able to subscribe fairly easily.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, y'all.
Any last words?
I want to take his face off.
Okay. Adios.
Later.